Hey, I'm Ross. I play bass in the Dirty Nil. I have a pretty simple setup. The first bass I'll show you is a 1976 Gibson Ripper. I got it about 2 years ago. James from Against Me found it for me on Reverb, and I actually bought it in Chicago. So I got it in Chicago for 800 bucks. It had the original pick guard before and the circle switch and a different bridge, but I kind of play like a Neanderthal, so it broke and I had to get a whole new pickguard made. That was made by my friend Ed at Birchway Sound in Hamilton, Ontario. Made it out of an old plate, and he redid everything, so it just worked more efficiently for me. I got a new bridge put on that I found that it helped with the sustain. I believe it's a hip shot bridge. And I've had to switch the machine heads about 3 times now. These are hip shot machine heads because either I threw the bass into the drum kit or it fell. The headstock's been broken about 4 times now. Actually, once at this venue, the headstock completely came off. So I'm a little bit worried about tonight, but if it breaks, this is the way it's supposed to be. Recently that broke off and it was pretty cool. Kind of looked like a happy face. And then I customized it with nil to hide some of the breaks. But it works great, stays in tune really well. People tell me that every time a Gibson headstock breaks, the instrument gets better. I find that's the case. It's a pretty cool bass, so it's hopefully it lasts me for the rest of my bass career, but I kind of highly doubt it. So I use Ernie Ball strings. I believe they're the medium gauge strings. Actually, they're the long scale medium gauge strings. I use those exclusively on this bass. Normally I use the Dunlop yellow picks, but I got this at the Chicago Music Exchange today, and that's the one I've been happened to be using today. My settings are actually, this is the only bass I own where the tone switch still works, but I never dial it back in this band for sure. So it's always full tone. Volumes are always all the way up. I prefer it all the way to the bridge pickup, but it does sound pretty cool in the neck, but I never really put it in the middle unless I hit it by accident while I'm jumping around. And then I also have the washers that Luke has. They seem to work better for him, but it's been staying on lately, which is super cool. Tuning, E flat. Sometimes, this bass actually right now is E flat drop D, so C sharp. And I usually keep it in that tuning for this band. So because of my Ripper unfortunately failing on me for one reason or another throughout all the touring we do, the people at Fender helped me out, and I've been playing this Fender Player Series P bass. I love it a lot. It's really cool. I always like the Mexican-made P basses better than the American P basses because I thought they have more crunch to them. Definitely a lot of the records that I like with P basses, I think they were on a Mexican P bass and not an American one. So I really love this bass. The only thing I did with it was I just like canceled out the tone knob so it's at full all the time. The volume knob still works. I put a new bridge on it, which is like the Fender Badass Bridge 2. It's like their version of it. I also put this mirror pickguard on, so if people happen to be looking at me, they can just look at themselves instead. Yeah, other than that, this bass is always in E flat. Same with the, got the same washers on it. This is like a custom Canadian made strap that my friend Ed at Birchway Sound got for me. And yeah, other than that, super simple. I think this is the best Fender bass I've ever owned, and I've owned like a 68 P bass before and stuff, and I like this one the best. And the strings, they're just regular Ernie Ball Slinky medium gauge strings. Right here, the purpose of this pedal board is so my patch cords don't fall out, as I kind of jump around like a crazy person. So when I first joined the band, I would have just pedals going everywhere or chords popping out. So I have everything locked in here, and they never pop out anymore. I got this Peterson Tuner that I like it, it's cool, but I mostly find it funny because when people try to use it, it confuses you at first, and I just find that funny, but it's super easy to use because I can use it. This is a Canadian-made pedal. I got it at the same store, Birchway Sound in Hamilton. I like that it said all things equal on it. It is similar to a micro amp, except there's 2 channels on it, and there's a clean and dirty thing. It just drives the amp, so once it's in the signal, it pretty much just takes over. So it just becomes the sound of the amp by tone. I keep both equal, so if anyone jumps on my pedal board or I jump on my pedal board, it doesn't change the sound at all. MXR DC brick. It's the first power supply I ever bought, and it still works. I've had to change the AC cable maybe once every tour, but it's been holding on this one, so that's fingers crossed. Over here, I got an amazing Trainer amp. This is the YBA 300, and it's an 810. I've been fortunate to work with Trainer in Yorkville for the past couple years, and they're very helpful. They're an incredible Canadian company that's made a lot of great amps for a lot of Canadian artists. I love it because it's like an SVT, but it's way lighter. Never breaks down. I think it sounds better. It's simpler to use. I keep, mostly because my pedal does a lot of the drive, and I kind of have like a Lemmy kind of sound. I play a lot of power chords and drives, so it is very bassy, so I just make sure the amp's bassy. I keep it very simple. It doesn't really dramatically change because of the pedal. I keep the volume pretty reasonable, at least I think so. But that depends on how close I am to my microphone. If it's too loud, then I can't really hear myself singing. But I love this amp. It's my favorite amp that I've used in a long time. Mic is the house mic. Normally I bring whatever random microphone. I'm not really particular with it, but I forgot it on this tour. So today I'm using a Shure Sm58, a little dent in it. Last year we released a record called Master Volume. It's my favorite record in the whole entire world. I played bass on it, and we're actually finishing the touring cycle for that now, and we released a couple songs that we did with the Master Volume record that we wanted to save so we can keep on touring and playing for a lot of people. So we're on the Idiot Victory tour right now, and you can find out all information on our Instagram, and we're always updating it and putting up funny videos and stuff, and yeah, check that out. I don't think we have a website, but we could, so check out thedirtynil.com because that might be working, and hope to see you at a show.